So we are back. Another video episode of Life Along the Streetcar, kind of a new experiment for us. But we have the Shane Reiser with the Shane Reiser with Tucson Foodie, which has really become just sort of synonymous with Tucson's gastronomical scene. I mean, it's hard to find something happening food-wise or drink-wise in Tucson without Tucson Foodie having a say in it.
Which are our best.
Now you've been involved. You took over at what point?
About 2 years ago.
That's it?
Yeah, it started like 9 years ago when Adam got it started, but I bought the company about 2 years ago.
Wow. Because I remember when I first met you, we sat down at Hotel Congress and you were telling me about all these events that you wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
And I remember thinking to myself, man, it's pretty aggressive. And so now I see all these events out here and I didn't realize it's only been 2 years.
Yeah, man. May of whatever 2 years ago. So almost 2 years, man.
So what
I look back and I think, man, like we just said we've done nothing. But then my team and everybody reminds me, we have done a lot. Like, look at what we've done. So I'm trying to be like, honor what we've done and be grateful, but also
it's not enough. I want more. I want more.
There's so much opportunity.
Yeah. Well, what kind of drew you to this? Because I know you've done a lot of different kind of, you're entrepreneurial in spirit. So you've done a lot of different things. But what drew you to Tucson Foodie?
Well, I moved here about 10 years ago and I found Tucson Foodie, and it was part of my falling in love journey.
Okay.
Tucson. Seriously, I moved here. I was like, what's going on? There's not a lot. And then Tucson Foodie just proved me wrong. And I was a fan, subscriber for a long time. And some of my first friends when I moved here were in restaurants that I went to because of Tucson Foodie. So, COVID hit, Tucson Foodie struggled, and I had the opportunity to buy it and not just keep it alive, because I know it's really important to the economy of Tucson, but also do really cool, new, interesting things. And my background's in community building.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for me to just like pull people together. We launched a club that brings people together. We've acquired festivals. We've launched new festivals.
A club like a physical club or like a
not a physical club.
Okay.
It's called Tucson Foodie Insiders. And
Tucson Foodie Insiders. Sounds pretty cool.
I appreciate the enthusiasm. So it's just the ultimate club for foodies. It's a great way to explore Tucson's restaurant scene. We have 80 restaurant partners that give our members bunch of different gift cards. In fact, you get like $350 in gift cards every month, over $4,000 a year. It's $20 a month, so it pays for itself instantly. And then you get 50% off to all of our festivals. And we have a dinner series that you get invited to just for members, run by top chefs. And we've lined up awesome perks at other dinners and festivals from our partners around town.
Well, and partners around town, I mean, Tucson Foodie, you are, I mean, I said at the beginning, but you really are everywhere. When there's a new restaurant opening, something closing, something changing, I think most people hear about it through your blog and your website.
Yeah, that's probably true. 67% of our traffic goes straight to our news articles. So a lot of people just know us as breaking news, openings, closings, announced new menus.
So, and then how do you stay on top of that? Do people call you, or do you have a fleet of reporters out there doing the old?
A little of both. I mean, Matt Sterner, our editor, is so good at that. He worked on the news desk at K-Gun. He just is plugged in. Mm-hmm. He's looking at new liquor license applications. He's following every restaurant on social, of course. But then, we've been around for almost 10 years now,
mm-hmm.
So people call us with fleets. We get tips all the time from our readers. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Machined.
So when you and I first spoke, again, you had talked about event-based celebration of food, not just, hey, go to this restaurant and try this dish, but you wanted to bring like the history and culture of Tucson, the food, and sort of bring it together and celebrate it. And it seems like you've been doing that.
We've been trying. I mean, part of it is this club. Yeah, and so we're putting hundreds of people in front of chefs every month in a more intimate setting. They get to tell their story, try the food. It's really experiential. But then we acquired Sonora Restaurant Week. We've launched Vegan Night Market, which brings in 3,000 people quarterly. That exploded with like 40, 50 vendors.
The Vegan Night Market. I heard this. I didn't realize this was Harabat.
Yeah, we started it. Our fourth is coming up on March 2nd.
Okay.
So we've done that 3 times now. It exploded. I thought we'd have like 300 people at the first one. 1,300 people showed up. And then 3,000 at the next one.
So March 2nd. So this is going to be airing February 11th. So March 2nd, where will that be?
It's at the Children's Museum, South Lawn, and Owls Club.
Okay.
Right down there, just south of downtown.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just a big celebration of vegan food. And not just food. There's other types of vendors, vegan nails, vegan tattoos, vegan products. But it's just most of the people that come aren't vegan. it's just a lot of really good food,
Right.
and it's fun to try different stuff.
Well, that's the thing that I've been learning. Because when I'm vegan by nature, but when I hear vegan, I immediately have a negative connotation. But then I've eaten things at like Char Vita, Midtown Deli, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow. I mean, it's not faux meat. It's just celebration of the the plant-based product. It's really good.
Exactly. There's so much food that's vegan that like the word has been kind of ruined.
Yeah.
But whatever word you want to choose, plant-based. I mean, that's also kind of ruined.
Well, that's
days, but
I don't know. I feel kind of trendy when they say plant-based.
yeah, there you go. Okay.
So March 2nd, that's the vegan market, and I know we have a big one coming up in a couple weeks that I really want to talk to you about, which is the celebration of the craft beer in Tucson. But before we get to that, what other kind of events do you have throughout the year that we're not talking about?
Well, our dinner series is really interesting. It's a new format. We call it an R&D dinner, research and development. And we actually just kind of got inspired, if you will. We stole a model that's working in other cities around the country.
Well done.
It's called the Tasting Collective.
Okay.
And I've been keeping my eye on them for a while. They're now in like the 20 biggest cities in the country. And it's really cool. They kind of take over a restaurant. The chef puts together an experimental tasting menu when they're trying to figure out like future menu items.
That's really cool.
And yeah, it's fun. And you get to taste everything. It's like a 5-course menu, and there's a feedback card, and there's a fireside chat with the chef at the end of the night. So it's really interactive. It's really fun. It's great. We've done 2. We did one with Fresco. We just did one at JoJo's.
Okay.
At the old Laco.
Mm-hmm.
And our next one's with Tooley's, and we've got them booked for the rest of the year.
That is fantastic. Hey, when Chef D, when Sinead Tai was operating in downtown, one of my favorite moments would be going in there, and she's like, "Would you like to try something we're working on for the menu?" And it's like, yeah, it's like, what? I definitely would. And I mean, even when you get to that point, it's good. It might not be exactly what they put on the menu, but they don't roll that out unless it's very flavorful, in my opinion. But
Yeah. You're a foodie, Tom. Huh?
well, I'm an eater. I think a foodie is more discerning than I am.
Oh, I see.
So someone might be able to have more of a experiential moment with the food. I'm just like, oh yeah, bring it.
I'm more like you, actually. I don't think of the word foodie as too discerning. I don't think of a food critic as a foodie. I think just somebody who loves food, likes to celebrate food. I mean, Tucson Foodie's voice.
Yeah,
it's positive.
Oh, right? It's very positive.
We just write about what to eat, where to go. We don't write about what not to eat, what's not good. We don't do that.
And maybe that's it, because it's Tucson Foodie, and Tucson is a whole different vibe than maybe the rest of the world. So when you say I'm a foodie, it sort of does, that does honestly to me mean more of a connotation of someone that is more into the details of the food, which I think Tucson Foodie is. I mean, I think you are very descriptive. What comes out, it's not just, hey, again, go try this at this restaurant. It's more about, I like it because it's an exploration of the history of the food
story.
And that to me, I'm a storyteller. I love hearing the story.
The people behind the food.
So I definitely would agree that I'm a Tucson foodie for sure.
There we are. I'll get you the t-shirt.
Okay. I will have to join the club apparently. Which I will be doing. But 24th, so we've got a celebration of craft beer. So it's not just food. You also talk about craft cocktails, and in Tucson we've got a really proliferation of strong brewing.
That's true.
And you celebrate this with your event, which has been going on for a while.
Yeah, the Tucson Craft Beer Crawl. We took it over.
Okay,
I think there's been 5.
Okay,
we ran the last one. We're running this one, and this year we're partnering up with Best Life Presents and the guys at Ranch House Media. And because they're professional event producers.
So we've talked with them. They did like 10 West and
Poste Maíz.
Yes, okay.
And helped with HOCO Fest on Hotel Congress. They know their stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be much more interesting this year. I think last year we just kind of ran it the way it was before. But this year, Matt and Dan over at Ranch House are like, let's have entertainment at every venue. Let's have a trail. We'll have an IPA trail and a sour trail. Let's do some fun stuff. We're going to give people a little pin if they complete the IPA trail. We're doing a boot chugging contest with the brewers. So it'll be a lot more fun. And we got some new venues. We've got Trackside. Have you been to Trackside yet?
Mm-hmm.
They took over the old Coronet.
Okay.
Or it was something in between that.
It was Dillinger. Yeah, it's Dillinger Brewing.
So it's now Trackside.
Okay.
So they're going to be a new spot. And then Corbett's, of course, is a new spot that we couldn't miss.
Yeah, love the vibe at Corbett's. It really has, it seems to hit on a multitude of interests. Then you got pickleball, you got music, you got good beer, food, local, and it's right off 4th Avenue in a warehouse area. It's really kind of a fun.
Easy parking.
Oh yeah. Someone with a restaurant open up with parking. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Now, has it always been a crawl? Because I thought at one point it was like you brought the beer to a spot, or that maybe the old version, or has it always been an out and about kind of?
Well, there's a beer fest that I think the Arizona Guild, the Brewers Guild, they put on at Emery Park.
Okay.
And that's in the spring as well. So that usually happens a few weeks after. This is a true crawl. We want you to crawl around downtown. I think there's 9 different venues. We've got anywhere between 2 and 5 different breweries pouring at each venue.
Okay.
You get a little commemorative glass, and you get your drink tickets for like 32-ounce pours. And so it's fun. You just walk around
30,
get a little food.
2 ounce. 2-ounce pours, not 32 ounces.
So it's 60 ounces of beer
right.
that you could theoretically drink, but most people don't make it. Yeah.
Well, especially if there's entertainment and everything else. I mean, you're just pulled into the vibe of the spot and enjoy.
It's just fun.
And I'm sure a lot of the places they're just loving the fact that someone might go in and try them for the first time and just experience what they have to offer.
That's the idea. Get people down exploring that don't come down a lot or haven't explored the new places. And of course, if you're a beer lover, try some new beers.
And it's a crawl, so it's all walking.
It's all walkable.
Okay.
Yeah. Borderline is going to be our kind of big gravitational spot. They're a partner with us every year. They have that beautiful courtyard. We're going to have live music. So, but you can check in any of the spots this year.
Well, then, so let's get some details on this. I'm assuming Tucson Foodie is where people would go to get information?
TucsonCraftBeerCrawl.com.
Okay.
We have our own Instagram as well. But yeah, if you go to Tucson Foodie, you'll see a pinned article at the top. And you'll be able to find everything on our Instagram as well.
Okay. And then you had mentioned the club and discounts. Does that sort of translate into?
Absolutely. Tucson Foodie Insiders get 50% off their ticket. The ticket is $50, so it's just $25. And insiders get a $10 food voucher that they can redeem in any of the food along the crawl. So, I mean, pays for itself pretty quick. We're taking care of our members.
Yeah. Fantastic. So what's on the horizon? What is not something that you've taken over, or I mean, is there anything out there that's sort of coming that you can share with us?
Sure.
Breaking news. I love breaking news.
One thing I'm really excited about, I haven't talked too much about it, is I've become friends with Dr. Andrew Weil. Do you know this guy?
Oh, yeah.
Big, amazing beard.
Yeah.
Like me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe one day.
He's got the Shane Reiser kit.
Great guy. And food and wellness.
Yeah.
Right, are linked. So we're planning a festival together. And it's likely going to be in the spring. So we're looking at like a whole year away, right? Not this spring. Celebrating food and wellness, but wellness in the biggest definition of the word. Tucson is already sort of a wellness destination.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you think about Tucson, you think about the desert. A lot of people think about food and then wellness.
Mm-hmm.
We have a huge wellness practitioner community of all the different flavors of wellness. People come here to heal. And nutrition and food are a huge part of that. So we are producing a big festival, a very large one, working with Visit Tucson. And the bigger vision is to turn Tucson into kind of the wellness capital of the United States.
Okay.
It's already kind of a wellness travel destination. So.
And Andrew, he's from Tucson, does he have a Tucson?
Not originally, but he has like the stories that
he's
got the Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine at the University, but the story is that like his truck broke down here when he was like 19 or something, and he's 81 now, and he's lived here ever since. Yeah.
But don't go to that mechanic. Don't go to that mechanic.
Yeah. It'll be $300. And I'm just going to live here forever.
It'll be done next week. We're not apart.
Oh, right. He's still waiting on that truck.
So the Trixie's out of here. Well, that is really cool. I love the fact that, and I think this goes back to what you said earlier about your community development and your community building, bringing these different cultures together that can celebrate each other. Because a lot of times, food and health, clearly they go together, but sometimes they're on opposite ends because of the way we eat and what we eat. Mm-hmm. So bringing something that's healthy, delicious, city of gastronomy, city of health, and pulling it together. And I'd have to imagine like the Visit Tucson folks are loving this.
Yeah, they're a close partner on this.
Yeah.
It's not just food. It's all types of wellness, physical, mental, spiritual, all that stuff.
So Tucson Foodie, almost 2 years into it, and you haven't done a thing yet, Shane. You got to start working on some projects. I mean, this is just getting stale here.
Well, I guess here's the thing. We've tried a lot. I feel this way because we've tried a lot and a lot hasn't worked. We've learned a lot. and we've had some successes. So I just wish our success rate had been a bit higher. But I mean, we've got this club. We're at about 650 members on our way to 3,000.
Yeah.
Our traffic is as high as it's ever been.
Traffic. So let's talk about that.
Like website.
Website, but you like where do people find you? The website. You're on social, obviously.
Yeah, some people are surprised we have a website. They think just us is just a Facebook page or an Instagram page. We've got about 250,000 followers across our social media platforms. We're about to hit 100,000 on Instagram any day now.
That means between you and Life on the Streetcar, you have 100,020 followers. Between the two of us.
Let's do a collab. We'll send some followers your way.
We're good with it.
And then the website traffic is about a quarter of the population looks at us every month. And our traffic outside of Tucson is exploding. I was looking at Google Analytics last month, and it was 26% of our traffic was from Phoenix.
Okay.
Isn't that encouraging?
That was going to be my next question is what reach do you have outside of Tucson? Because I know on your website, one of the things that I share quite a bit are your guides. You've got guides to restaurants, guides to downtown restaurants, guides to craft. So it's interesting that not interesting, but it's very simple to navigate for me to say, if you want to, what do you like downtown? I like everything. Here's a list.
Yeah. Pick out Tucson Foodie's downtown guide.
Yeah. Pick out 2 or 3 restaurants that look interesting to you, and I'll tell you what I think about them. That's kind of how I use it. I use Tucson Foodie to sort of distill things down.
Me too, man. I hear those questions all the time. Like, I'll go read the guide. I'm about to launch Shane's guide of favorite things because I get that question. What's the best restaurant in Tucson? I'm like, can we pick a category here at least?
Right. Like, what are you in the mood for?
Who are you with? Yeah. What day of the week is it?
And how many people should I upset with this pick? They're all my favorite. They're all my
all good.
They're my children. They're all my children.
There's so much good food. There's a member of our club. His name's Colby. He was the first guy to join our club. He also does the voice acting on our videos.
Okay.
He describes Tucson as the Disneyland of restaurants. Because there's just so much to keep discovering. I mean, I'm the owner of Tucson Foodie, and there's like 600 locally owned restaurants in Tucson. There's so many, I can't make it to all of them. I'd have to do 2 a day. And by the time I get to sometimes they close, and I don't get there's just so many. We're at some critical mass point where it's just constant discovery, exploration. It's almost like it's a real big city, We're there.
We're there. I mean, it is the city of gastronomy was an explosion for Tucson. I mean, it was a recognition. It wasn't a launch point. It was a recognition.
Yeah.
And it seems like instead of peaking at that moment, it's sort of like a secondary stage. We built this great foundation. We got this recognition, and now it really does seem, from my limited perspective, that we're launching into a whole new stratosphere.
Yeah, we're stepping into our own.
And Tucson Foodie is monitoring it the entire way. TucsonFoodie.com?
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right. And then Arizona Beer, what is it?
Tucson Craft Beer Crawl.
Tucson Craft Beer Crawl is its own website, and information at the club, social media, all that stuff. I would just go to Tucson Foodie and then.
Yeah, or Instagram.
And just spread out from there.
Absolutely.
It's all right. And if you're listening on the audio version of this, then if you head over to our website on the video, if you're watching, we're hopefully going to be smart enough to figure out how to put links and stuff right here, so that people can
smash that subscribe button.
I haven't gotten quite that far yet. We're still down here. Anyway, Shay, I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, Tom. Appreciate it, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you, sir.